S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please, try. Let's start on...
Father? That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've...
I'll make this very...
He's here, in the Institute. But I need you to real. You have traveled there. It's good to finally... I am.
How is that even possible?
I know this in the vault. You had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the sun you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality, and here I am. Raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take the child? Why take...
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking. Yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute... I was exactly... I am the...
60.
I know. I know you must...
Your mother.
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on and live my life. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say?
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. The Institute.
They need your help, Sean. It's rough up there, to say the least.
Oh, we've tried that. Surprised? The Institute once tried to help create a stabilized Commonwealth government. It ended in bickering, infighting. It was a disaster. No. We look after our own now. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen, just... I know there's more. The Institute is... I've been a part. And now...
You want me to stay here? In the Institute?
Yes. That is what I propose. The Institute can provide a better life. You've been in the Commonwealth.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you we really do have... Will you take... Just give it time. The Institute, you want to introduce... And finally, Doc...
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown.
Is it true Fukushima 77?
Hey, it's me. So you're the one who sent the encrypted message. How did you even do that? I wasn't sure anyone on the surface would have a chance to crack Trinity. You know.
A friend named Tinker Tom cracked your encryption.
He must have had some serious... Your message was only one word. Friend.
The Railroad sent me to look for someone they called Patriot. That's you.
What? And they gave me a code name? I kept sending synths to the surface hoping someone would help them. I hoped the Railroad got to some of them, but I never...
You saved a lot of synths.
So much to take in. But with you in the picture, I have this... But we'll need help. Where's he working now? Right. Let's go to the West Atrium. Probably best to talk about something else right now. You know my father thinks it's a living hell on the surface. But that can't be right. Heck, you look positively normal to me. No offense. I'm not sure if we could ever make the surface actually a decent place to live. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't at least try to, you know?
Subject identified.
Liam.
Good. He's here. C-114. It's me.
Sir, do you require something?
It's okay, Z-1. He's a friend. He's with the Railroad.
Meeting here is dangerous. And you bring a stranger. You.
Because the members of the Railroad have dedicated their lives to fight for your freedom.
I thought only Mr. Benet cared. But your friend...
That's what the Railroad does, Z-1. He's from the surface.
I've never met another human willing to help.
Right now, how many synths...
The ones I know for certain.
That'll take forever. Let's free those 13 all in one go.
I would do anything for my people. It's no good. The old maintenance tunnel.
If I can find a way to...
Yes.
Just a few high-security doors, right? Control... You're willing to help, right?
Of course I'll help you.
Our core secure... The original secure... With some persuade... Problem is... But if you could get...
I'll find it for you.
That's great. The CIT room... Ask your friend...
You had time to examine my latest reports on batch 274?
Not yet. I've been reviewing
Doc.
I wonder how the Warwick family
So
is
good to
doing.
have you here.
Young
Dr.
Wally must be
Ike.
close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable.
I look forward to...
In that case, as the name of our most important, to that end, we cultivate... We've even started... You probably saw the...
Seems like there's nothing.
With hard work, I'm sure
I'm not sure how well I'll fit in.
Great. In any case,
You mentioned medical.
in that case, he's our top bio... Dr. Volker, you won't find...
Can't break the code. Sweet. Got it.
Ambush. Ambush. Defensive protocols in...
we go.
Personal record, Dr. Brian Virgil. This will likely be my last recording. My requests to shut down the FEV program have repeatedly been denied. We've learned nothing useful in the last 10 years. Why does Father insist on continuing it? If he won't see reason, then I have to take matters into my own hands. What we're doing, it's not right. It needs to stop. If anyone should find this after I'm gone, know that I never wanted to hurt anyone. Anyone. Do you understand me? I'm gonna make sure the whole program is shut down. If not for good, then at least for years to come. After that, I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan. And if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the Corsairs can find me. Everything that we've done, the lives we've taken. If there is a God, may he have mercy on us all.
Dr. Holdren's Senate Gorilla Project is showing promising results.
have to work pretty hard to impress anyone down here. Dr. Watson doesn't think I'm Institute material.
My bad, I'm back.
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious Phase 3?
No, I can't talk about that.
No visible reaction. We'll start the next trial. The dosage will be much larger this time. The side effects will be
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still.
Hi, Doc.
You can return to your duties and remember to record every symptom you experience.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Filmer. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the crate.
Sure.
Now, as you might guess, we maintain and There's a lot of machinery behind these walls.
Right.
The work we do. So.
I'm not on board with it.
No? And yet here you are, poking. If you're not planning on staying, then consider having another talk with Sean. He really is anxious to. If there's anything else you'd like to.
It must be a challenge.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, advanced systems is always... It's a good thing, too, because...
All systems nominal.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes.
Don't worry. I promise I won't get...
Thank you. I do appreciate... Oh, before I forget. I've been told to install... You're to be given full...
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the... In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust. Now, unless there's something else, I really...
Tell me about the people.
I'm not sure what there is to say. Dr. Watson, Dr. Orman...
Sure.
For goodness sake, I can't find my note.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well,
nothing to report, sir.
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
Report anything suspicious to the SRB.
Maybe I should take some courses with me. Send a message.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping you, despite your relation to Father. I'm sure you understand.
Why? Don't you trust me?
Oh, it's nothing personal. I don't trust anyone. Now, Father has asked our primary responsibility.
Why would synths want to escape?
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient. But I gather you know. In fact, I'm
no stranger to combat.
Even so, a Courser should... I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we... Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
You mentioned that coursers undergo...
The SRB constantly monitors our gen. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, and independence undergo... We teach them arm. Those who pacify...
Dr. Ayo.
What do you want?
Dr. Orman's lecture on cold fusion was nothing short of a revelation.
I'd like to know more.
Fine. Once a Courser has... We then begin the in those cases where the... All too often we're unable to repair the damage and are forced to...
You're here. Glad you made it.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
First things first. How do I get back to the surface?
The same way you got in, of course. You are not a prisoner here. You may come and go as you please. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused. Unfortunately, as remarkable as our synths are, the superior synth...
If the synths are intelligent and self-aware, then they have a right to free will.
However closely they may approximate human beings, when you see what I have to show you...
Sure.
A rogue synth has taken over the... His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes under his leadership. Right. I've dispatched a Courser to Libertalia.
Sure. We'll just fight our way through an army of homicidal maniacs and ask this synth to come on home.
I didn't say it would be easy. Now you should get moving.
Joe Shiesty, that's my boy.
Hey, it's Fixer. Fixer's back. Hey, Rook. The name's Drummer Boy. It's my envy.
That can be an important job.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Desdemona.
Oh, thank God.
CJ, as I told you, the molecular stabilization matrix held.
Funny, you didn't sound certain yesterday. It is really, real.
I met with the leader of the Institute.
What?
After they took him from me, they froze me in cryo.
Instead of being on ice for a few years, it's a few... The Institute's really done enough. Besides meeting your boy, did you...
I met Patriot. His name is Liam Benet.
I knew you'd get the job done. We need... Write up a full report on...
I was power napping and whammo, it hit me. got some ideas on how to kit out deliver. Make your super badass gun even more, well, more. So check out my stock.
I'll take a look.
Made a new batch of...
Mm-hmm.
Carrington wants word.
Ah, good, you're here. There's been a development. A raider gang.
Uh-huh.
Desdemona, so she wants you.
If Blackbird's alive, I want to bring him back.
As you see fit. The dead drop has the...
Yes. Okay.
The importance of Bunker Hill
Pam.
and our asset base.
Preliminary analysis complete.
Keep it that way. Anything we need to move on?
Affirmative. Codename Patriot requires admin credentials for Code Defender security software. House indexing. CIT security administrators with 2077 Commonwealth Census records. Filtering